Wake up to a cloudy day, dark rolls in and it starts to rain. Staring out to the cage like walls, time goes by and the shadows crawl. Crushing candy, crushing pills, got no job, mom pays my bills. Texting exes, get my fill, sweating bullets, Netflix chills. World's out there singing the blues, 20 more dead on the evening news. Think to myself, really what's the use? I'm just like you, I was born to lose. Why, oh why can't you just fix me? When all I want's to feel numb, but the medication's all gone. Why, oh why does God hate me? When all I want's to get high and forget this so-called life. I am so freaking bored, nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate. I am so freaking bored, nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate. Can't wait to feel better than I ever will. Tack that shit like a kid on Benadryl. Chase it down with a hopeful smile. Hate myself, I can go for miles. They say family's all you need. Someone to trust can help you breathe. Inhale that drug but you start to choke. You fall on the outs of an inside joke. Why, oh why can't you just fix me? When all I want's to feel numb, but the medication's all gone. Why, oh why does God hate me? Cause I've seen enough of it, heard enough of it, felt enough of it, had enough of it. I am so freaking bored, nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate. I am so freaking bored, nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate. Superman is a hero, but only when his mind is clear though. He needs that fix like the rest of us, so he's got no fear when he saves that bus. All the stars in the Hollywood Hills, Snapchat live when they pop them pills. All those flavors of the rainbow, too bad that shit don't work though. Your friends are high right now, your parents are high right now. That hot chick's high right now, that cop is high right now. The president's high right now, your priest is high right now. Everyone's high as fuck right now. Nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate. I am so freaking bored. Nothing to do today. I guess I'll sit around and medicate. Medicate.
face that awakes when I close my eyes. Face that watches every time they lie. Face that laughs every time they fall. So you know that when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is watching you too, right inside your skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin.
Hyper pregnant.
It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin.
All right, welcome to another edition of Reckless Ascension Radio Friday edition. Thank you everybody for tuning in again. Sorry I was a little bit late, got caught up at the office, and got out about 30 minutes later. Didn't want to, but it is what it is. But we are here now. Hope everybody's set to get in tonight. We are going to keep it a little bit more on the rock side tonight. I like to have fun on Fridays, and rock always keeps me in a happy place. There's no real rhyme or reason to what I'm going to play tonight, just music that I enjoy. We'll get into some of the more political shit later. But the first three songs that you just heard, Theory of a Dead Man, Remedy, Breaking Benjamin, I Will Not Bow, and Linkin Park, One Step Closer. I'm not going to really get into a whole lot tonight, other than to say you've got 1 day left to get your screenshots into the Fashion Frame contest. That ends tomorrow. Remember, the prizes for that are skins and Cyandanas. Just remember no Tenogen, because Zeffy is going to be giving out the plat for that, I believe. All those prizes have been donated by Zeffy and Dan, so a big shout out and thank you to them for creating, donating, and managing the event. But remember, the important part is that you get your screenshots in, so please do that as the event closes tomorrow. You should be seeing a lot of really cool shit with all the Captura updates this past week. I'm going to go ahead and put us right on track for another set of three. And this is Power Man 5000 When Worlds Collide.
What is it really? What's going on here? You got the system for total control. Now is there anybody out there? Now watch yourself, oh yeah, cause we can't go. What is it really that is in your head? What little life that you had just died? I'm gonna be the one that's taking over. Now this is what it's like when worlds collide. You ready to go? Got it, I'm ready to go. What you gonna do, baby, baby? You going with me? Got it, I'm going with you. That's the end of all time. What is it really that motivates you? The need to fly or this fear stop? I'll go along, then you realize you're gonna get there as a line of teardrop. Now who's the light and who is the devil? You can't decide, so I'll be your guide. And one by one they will be chosen. Now this is what it's like when worlds collide. You ready to go? Got it, I'm ready to go. What you gonna do, baby, baby? You going with me? Got it, I'm going with you. That's the end of all
All right, welcome back. So, when we talked about the gun control laws about a week ago, one of the things that I mentioned is that Dick's Sporting Goods would be pulling AR-style rifles off of the shelf. Well, there's actually been some updates on that. We've got an 18-year-old plaintiff out of Michigan who is suing Dick's Sporting Goods because of a law based on age discrimination. So in the state of Michigan, it says, except where permitted by law, a person shall not deny an individual the full and equal enjoyment of the goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, or accommodations of a place of public accommodation or public service because of religion, race, color, national origin, age, sex, or marital status. So what they're arguing is that that because retailers are offering this to the public, that it's in fact a public accommodation and public service, and it's actually going to the Michigan court system. As it says here, the plaintiff seeking damages, injunctions, costs, attorney fees, blah 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 blah. What do you guys think of that? It's an interesting challenge because there's no, to my knowledge, there's no technical firearms law that prohibits the sale of firearms to somebody under the age of 18. Additionally, however, a portion of the way the Constitution was set up is to have the federal government be sort of like a baseline of laws, and then different states are supposed to be able to sort of amend that and have more stringent regulations. I suppose this comes down to whether or not whether you have to be 21 to buy a gun in the state of Michigan, or whether it's just this one company. Because if it is this one company, I think they're probably screwed. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Should a 21-year-old have a gun? Is it something that we should allow at 18, 16? Hell, we can talk about drinking age and marijuana consumption age in some states. Honestly, I don't know. Like, for myself, I don't know that this is a big deal. At the very least, this will probably be settled out of court, and Dick's will change their policy in the state of Michigan. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear some of your guys' view. Coming up, we'll look at the North Korea Trump talks, what we're going to be sort of expecting out of that, the timeline, all the crazy in the news over that right now. And you know, his involvement with that, and the left that is screaming that it's being used as a ploy to detract from the Stormy Daniels nonsense.
Meet the real me in my misfits way of life. A dark black past is my most valued possession. Hindsight is always 2020, but looking back, it's still a bit fuzzy. Speak of mutually assured destruction. Nice story. Reader's Digest. Feeling paranoid to enemy or fostering. Anxiety's attacking me. My hair is getting thin. I'm in trouble for things I haven't got to yet. I'm chomping at the bit and my palms are getting wet. Hello me, it's me again. You can subdue but never tame me. It gives me a migraine headache, sinking down to your level. Yeah, just keep on thinking it's my fault and stay an inch or two out of kicking distance. Mankind has got to know his limitations. Feeling claustrophobic like the walls are closing in. Bloodstains on my hands and I don't know where I've been. I'm in trouble for the things I haven't got to yet. I'm sharpening the ass and my palms are getting wet. Bloodstains on my Well, me, it's nice talking to myself. A credit to dementia. Someday you too will know my pain and smile its black-toothed grin. If the war inside my head won't take a day off, I'll be dead. My icy fingers claw your back. Here I come again. Feeling paranoid to enemy of offspring. Anxiety's attacking me. My hair is getting thin. Once you've committed me, now you acquitted me. Claiming validity for your stupidity. Chopping at the bit. I'm sharpening the axe. Oh, here I come again.
There's just so much goddamn weight on my shoulders. All I'm trying to do is live my motherfucking life. Supposed to be happy, but I'm only getting colder. Wear a smile on my face, but there's a demon inside. There's just so much goddamn weight on my shoulders. All I'm trying to do is live my motherfucking life. Supposed to be happy, but I'm only getting colder. Wear a smile on my face, but there's a demon inside.
There's a demon inside. Just like Jekyll and Hyde. All this anger inside. I feel like Jekyll and Hyde.
just live your motherfucking life. The story's getting old and my heart is getting colder. I just wanna be Jekyll, but I'm always fighting hide. You got rocks in your head, I can hear them rolling round. You can say that you're above it, but you're always falling down. Is there a method to your madness? Is it all about pride? Seems everyone I know, they got a demon inside. There's a demon inside. Just like Jekyll and Hyde. All this anger inside. I feel like Jekyll and Hyde. If I wasn't so deranged, could I ever face the pain? If I ever were to change, would the song remain the same? All I'm trying to do is live my motherfucking life. Wear a smile on my face, but there's a demon inside. All I'm trying to do is live my motherfucking life. Wear a smile on my face, but there's a demon inside. There's a demon inside. Just like Jekyll and Hyde. All this anger inside. I feel like Jekyll and Hyde. Let's get ready to rumble! Feel the fires into the red. It's nice and only know how to win. The state is fighting, we're breaking into. You will feel all his power. The white came over your make. Contest the wheel, the brand is there. In the back of your head, yeah, you feel the floor again. Unleashing his hell, you will not even hear the bell. Maybe you're strong, but you don't stand a chance. Feel the power of
right, welcome back. So that was a set of 6. Had us lead off with Metallica's "Die Die My Darling," which is a cover of the old Misfits song. Megadeth's "Sweating Bullets," Five Finger Death Punch, Jekyll and Hyde, Volbeat, "A Warrior's Call," and Disturbed's "Indestructible." So I'm going to move on to something else that I kind of I was looking around and found something interesting in my home state. It would appear that after the Parkland shooting, there's been some groups that have tried to politicize it. When I say groups, I mean corporations. So a little bit ago, Georgia lawmakers voted on Monday not to include a tax break on a bill that would have benefited Delta Airlines about $50 million. This is all based on a tweet that Delta put out that states, and I quote, "Delta is reaching out to the NRA to let them know that we will be ending their contract for discounted rates through our group travel program. We will be requesting that the NRA remove our information from their website." So this kind of brings up a few different things here. And honestly, a response to this was from a senator in the state of Georgia named Casey Cagle. And again, I quote, "I will kill any tax legislation..." Oh my God. Let me try that again with 100% more English. "I will kill any tax legislation that benefits Delta unless the company changes its position and fully reinstates its relationship with the NRA. Corporations cannot attack conservatives and expect us not to fight back." So the exchange here brings up a couple of interesting questions. Part of the stuff that I talked about last Friday was I would absolutely love to hang every lobbyist in Washington and hang them from the Washington Monument, right along with some of the corporate lawyers that have destroyed this country. But the way that this is being responded to, I feel is not entirely accurate. Or even a very smart move. So Delta comes out and they're going to say, "Hey, you know, we're no longer doing business with the NRA," which, quite frankly, and let me restate this: everybody knows that I'm, or at least anybody who's been paying attention knows that I'm anti-gun control. I don't believe that the government should be taking any guns. Okay, that being said, if Delta's decision is to break their relationship with the NRA, that is not... I really don't feel like anybody should be trying to hold them hostage, essentially. And what this jackass, Senator Cagle, has done is, in one fell swoop, he has essentially said that the NRA is the Conservative Party, and the Conservative Party is the NRA. He's conjoined these two in this tweet, and he's also said that expressing any sort of anger or irritation or, you know, lack of support for a conservative group will result in their tax breaks being taken away. So when I initially read this story, my initial thought was, okay, good, stick it to fucking Delta, because Delta's a bunch of cunts and they allow people to get reappropriated off of flights and have people carried the fuck out and all of that crazy shit. But then as I sat here and really started to think about this is almost... and maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way, but does anybody else think this is almost like government and corporate sabotage, the way that all of this is going down? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at this kind of weird in comparison, but threatening to withhold tax breaks because Delta doesn't want to do business with the NRA anymore, that seems almost retarded to me. And I don't even know if that's legal, to be entirely honest. But who knows? There's a lot of different viewpoints out there. I'd be interested to hear it. I know for a fact we've got some liberals out here, and I know we've got some people who are center and conservative too. So this is actually something that I know that I say I like to hear input a lot, but I'd really like to hear what you guys think on this. Do you think that the Georgia state government is justified in withholding some tax breaks over this? Do you think it's more or less like a hostage situation or blackmail? I don't know. I kind of don't really know what to think about this. I'm on the fence, but I'm actually leaning more towards that this is almost a form of extortion. But yeah, I'll get some more music playing, and we'll get some thoughts out there.
Well, Mama told me when I was young, said sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say, and if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Or take your time, don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. You'll find a woman and you'll find love. And don't forget that there is a someone up above. And be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Get your lust from the rich man's gold. All that you need now is in your soul. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Oh, don't you worry, you'll find yourself. Follow your heart and nothing else. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? So baby, be a simple man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can?
All right, that was Shine Down Simple Man. And I kind of want to slip in something more here before I go digging for something else. Delta's not actually the only one that has really gone in on this. They're the ones that are being targeted, but it would seem that the following companies have also followed suit. So you've got First National Bank of Omaha, Hertz, Enterprise, and Avis budget rental car companies. You've also got United Airlines, MetLife, Chubb, Symantec, SimpliSafe, and Starkey Hearing Technologies. These are all companies that are actually severing their relationships with the NRA. I mean, I should point out that I don't actually think the NRA should be vilified in this, but at the same time, tax extortion, that's a gross overstep of some government responsibility. So, in keeping with the kind of the slower pace of Shinedown and Simple Man, I talked about a week ago about a group that really was kind of a set of one-hit wonders. They follow our same initials. It's Raw. This next song is the song that actually convinced me that the lead singer of Raw had one of the most impressive vocal ranges that I'd ever heard in my life. It is a little bit on the slower side, but it's a fantastic song if you can appreciate the aesthetics. So this is Walking and Thinking by Raw.
From the air I see your loneliness. You carry on despite your fear. Inside a box you keep your sanity, and it will never seem clear to me. Over the hills the light it flows, it shows the angels laughing. But where is the love that we're supposed to find? Lost in a maze of games so very dark and overwhelming. Lost in these thoughts that seem to rule my mind. A simple spell cast is broken through. The force of life decides to bend. You lay me low to sacred stormy skies, and you will write the end for me. Over the hills the light it flows, it shows the angels laughing. And where is the love that we're supposed to find? Lost in a maze of games so very dark and overwhelming. Lost in these thoughts that seem to rule my mind. Yeah. Don't close and I will be denied. A dagger thrust into my chest. You claim yourself to the victory, but it is I who rest in peace. Over the hills the light it flows, it shows the angels laughing. And where is the love that we're supposed to find? Lost in a maze of games so very dark and overwhelming. Lost in these thoughts that seem to rule my mind. Over the hills the light it flows, it shows the angels laughing. But where is the love that we're supposed to find? Lost in a maze of games so very dark and overwhelming. Lost in these thoughts that seem to rule my mind. My mind.
It's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in Sin City. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. I've got one foot on the platform, the other's on the train. I'm going back to Sin City to wear that ball and chain. Well, others tell your children never do what I have done. Spend your lives in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. In the house of the rising sun. Well, there's a house in Sin City they call the rising sun. And it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God knows that I'm one.
And we're back. So some developments in the Trump and North Korea thing. I honestly didn't really know a whole lot about it when I talked about it on Friday. So apparently, the talks were only bilateral initially, meaning that they were North Korea, South Korea only. And then, after the Olympics finished, then at that point it was the South Korean president that extended that information over to the President Trump, and he accepted. Again, I've seen a lot of different sides on this. I've seen some people saying that Trump's a fucking idiot for breaking what is essentially 50 years of standing tradition, in that we would never speak with the North Korean dictator directly, that we would instead choose multilateral, sort of a global view to this. Then again, I have other people who say, that he's the first president to actually have the stones to do this, and that clearly, after 50 years of this stalemate, that we need to find a different road. And I'll be entirely honest, I'm kind of with those people. The war never really ended. For those of you who don't know, we've actually been at war with North Korea since 1952 or 3, whenever it was, and it was all to prevent the spread of communism. There was never a formal end to that war, so that declaration never actually ended. It's just been a ceasefire the whole time. Of course, the left is screaming that this is all some sort of detraction from the Stormy Daniels nonsense, and for those of you who aren't aware of that, that's some tranny-looking porn star that Trump apparently dipped his pickle in. Quite frankly, I don't really care that he smashed a porn star. I think that that his wife is a hell of a lot better looking than this thing is. So, I mean, I kind of question his judgment there. Fucking moron. But as far as the whole meeting with South Korea and North Korea, I got to be entirely honest. I think that this is probably a good thing. We need a little bit of a change in this department, because obviously the status quo hasn't worked for the last half century. So let's try something new.
better, better, better. Looks like I'm not getting better, not getting better. Wait, I'm coming undone. I wait, I'm coming undone. Too late, I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so good I can't wait. I'm starting to suffocate, and soon I anticipate. I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so good I can't. Your life is empty and you hate the faces world alone. So you're searching for an angel, someone who can make you whole. I cannot save you. I can't even save myself. So just save yourself. Yeah, that you've been damaged, your soul has suffered such abuse. And I am not your savior, I am just as you. I cannot save you. I can't even save myself. So just save yourself. Please don't take pity. Please don't take pity. Please don't take pity on me. Please don't take pity on me. Life has been a nightmare. My soul is fractured to the bone. If I must be lonely, I think I'd rather be alone. You cannot save me. You can't even save yourself. I cannot save you. I can't even save myself. Save yourself. So just save yourself.
The bitch came back the very next day. Oh, the bitch came back. Thought she was a goner, but the bitch came back. She couldn't stay away. Don't you know the bitch came back? faces when I'm starting to see that all my friends are right for thinking that we be wrong. Well, she's so fucking stupid that she's singing along. The trouble with girls is they're all the same. Forget the diamonds and pearls, they just want a ring. Before you know it, you're like a dog on a leash. Well, you can try and change the world, but you won't change me. The bitch came back the very next day. Oh, the bitch came back. I thought she was a goner, but the bitch came back. She couldn't stay away. Don't you know the bitch came back? There she goes again, she's always breaking my balls. No matter what I do, somehow it's always my fault. She says I must be cheating cause I turned off my phone, but that's the only frickin' way she'll leave me alone. The trouble with girls is it's never enough. They love to complain and they never shut up. They like to tell you the way it ought to be. Go on and tell the world, but just don't tell me. The bitch came back the very next day. Oh, the bitch came back. I thought she was a goner, but the bitch came back. She couldn't stay away. Don't you know the bitch came back? It ain't a joke when I say I wanna throw you out. Look who's laughing now. The bitch came back. The bitch came back. The bitch came back. She just couldn't stay away. Bitch came back the very next day. Oh, the bitch came back. Thought she was a goner, but the bitch came back. She won't stay the fuck away. The bitch came back the very next day. Oh, the bitch came back. I thought she was a goner. The bitch came back. She couldn't stay away. Don't you know the bitch came back the very next day. Oh, the bitch came back. I thought she was a goner, but the bitch came back. She couldn't stay away. Don't you know the bitch came back?
Everything's so blurry and everyone's so fake, and everybody's empty and everything is so messed up, preoccupied without you. What can I live at all? My whole world surrounds you. I stumble then I crawl. You could be my someone, you could be my seed. Know that I'll protect you from all of the obscene. I wonder what you're doing. Imagine where you are. There's oceans in between us, but that's not very far. Can you take it all away? Can you take it all away? When you shoved it in my face, explain you did to me. Can you take it all away? Can you take it all away? When you shoved it in my face. Everyone is changing. There's no where to turn. Showed you when to run away. Can you take it all away? Can you take it all away? When you shoved it in my face, explain you get to me. Can you take it all away? Can you take it all away? When you shoved it in my face, explain you get to me. Explain you get to me. Explain you get to me. Can you take it all? Take it all
Who's to know if your soul will fade at all? The one you sold to fool the world. You lost your self-esteem along the way. Good God, you're coming up with reasons. Good God, you're dragging it out. Good God, it's the changing of the seasons. It feels so raped. So follow me down and just fake it. If you're out of direction, fake it. If you don't belong here, fake it. If you feel like your back's done, oh, you're such a fucking hypocrite. You used to know that the lies won't hide your flaws. No sense in hiding all of yours. You gave up on your dreams along the way. Good God, you're coming up with reasons. Good God, you're dragging it out. And good God, it's the changing of the seasons. I feel so raped. So follow me down and just fake it. If you're out of direction, fake it. If you don't belong here, fake it. If you feel like your back's done, oh, you're such a fucking hypocrite. Know if your soul will fade at all. The one you sold to fool the world. You lost your self-esteem along the way. Yeah! Good God, you're coming up with reasons. Good God, you're dragging it out. Good God, it's the changing of the seasons. I feel so right, man. Follow me down and just fake it. If you're out of direction, fake it. If you don't belong here, fake it. If you feel like your back's done, oh, you're such a fucking hypocrite. Fake it. If you're out of direction, fake it. If you don't belong here, fake it. If you feel like your back's done, oh, you're such a fucking hypocrite.
All right, we're back on. So, that was Theory of a Dead Man, Bitch Came Back, Puddle of Blood's Murray. Oh my God, Puddle of Mud's Blurry. and Fake It by Seether. So something that I kind of thought of that I did want to talk about a little bit, and the flat Earth crap kind of sort of put me onto this. I'm not usually one to buy into a whole lot of conspiracy theories or anything along those lines, but there's almost too much damn evidence for me to really look at this any other way. So the question that I want to pose to you guys, and really before I kind of get into it a little bit, and I'll actually post some pictures in the Discord chat here. When it comes to alien life, A, do you believe it exists? B, do you think it's been to Earth? And if we want to hit the more conspiratorial side of it, C, do you actually think that that the existing world governments have some sort of relationship with these beings? I'll kind of go into my thoughts in a little bit here, because I kind of want to get everybody else's thoughts and opinions on this first. I have some pretty strong opinions on this, and this is probably as deep into the crazy pool as I go.
Descending ages of fallen kids.
All right, back here. So on the alien subject, I'm seeing some stuff here. It says, yeah, they probably exist. No, they haven't been to Earth. And if you don't think they've been to Earth, then obviously you don't think they're involved in some conspiratorial arrangement with the government. So I'll start with the easiest stuff to sort of digest. Space is big. Space is really, really fucking big. Like, the statistical models show that I think with everything that just we have seen, everything in our visible scope, that there should be no fewer than like 26 Earth-like planets, just based on raw numbers. The other parts of this that we get into are a little bit they're a little bit crazy, and they deal with kind of theoretical physics type stuff. How would you begin to travel that much distance? There are ways to explain it, but you'd have to understand a little bit of relativity and the concept of space folding in order to understand that. Be using like high-powered gravity wells to create things like artificial localized black holes to traverse a great deal of space in a limited amount of time, which I don't necessarily think is science fiction. Hell, airplanes were science fiction 150 years ago. But the amount of stuff that I have seen just on Earth, and I'm talking about, there are hieroglyphics that have things like bombers and helicopters on them. There is there was something that was uncovered in a Buddhist temple. It was a drawing that nobody could make sense out of. It looked like I think it was called the Temple of the Gods or something to that effect via the original artist. And it was looked at by a professor at MIT. And when he turned the damn thing sideways, he realized that it actually wasn't a Temple of the Gods. It was a damn drawing of a particle accelerator. But, who 1,000, 2,000 years ago would make any sense out of this? And even then, like, some of the stuff could be hoaxes. Like, I'll be entirely honest. This is one of those things I like to think about in terms of possibility. And like I said, I'll drop some pictures in Discord of some of this stuff. But the other things that are a little bit crazy is when you think about how long humanity has really been here and how far spread out some of them are. So, if you understand human migratory patterns over the eons, you'd understand that based on whichever argument, life started in either Mesopotamia, which is the land between two rivers in China. There are also other arguments that stated that human life began in regions in Africa. There's also arguments that it was both, where one was the Cro-Magnon and the other was the Homo... I forget, or maybe it was Australopithecus, I don't recall. It's been a long time since I've dug up an anthropology book. But assuming that this is the case, if you look at sort of like the Aztec, the Inca, and the Mayan civilizations, and you compare them to sort of ancient Egypt, you see a whole lot of similarities that countries, that a people separated by that much space over that much time, there's no conceivable way they could have been talking to each other. Then I would need an explanation as to why both of these civilizations came up with the concept of pyramids. Granted, ziggurats aren't necessarily full pyramids, and I mean that argument's been made, but I'd have to get the exact location of it. But the Great Pyramids at Giza, they're laid out in a very specific way, one that mimics the Belt of Orion, that constellation. And then I believe it's a set of ziggurats in, I want to say it's Lower Mexico, that have the exact same layout. Now that to me is a statistical impossibility. Two people with no contact create the same geometric structure in the exact same pattern How does that happen? That's not coincidence. And then you look at other things like the long count. Like how does the Aztec long count line up, or was it Mayan long count? I don't recall. It was the thing that the 2012 disaster was based off of, or the end of the world in 2012, or whichever it was. How in the world could they have come up with that? There's no conceivable way. I mean, I get ancient people that were smarter than we probably give them credit for, but that's fucking impossible. You'd have had to have observed the stars and tracked them perfectly for 13,000 years to have gotten that right? Shit's crazy to think about. Anyway, that's just some food for thought. I'm going to drop some of these images in Discord and move on to the next song.
I wish that I could fly into the sky so very high, just like a dragonfly. I'd fly above the trees, over the seas, in all degrees, to anywhere I please. Oh, I want to get away. I wanna fly away. Yeah, yeah. Rosita, my Spanish Harlem Mona Lisa. You're my reason for reason, the step in my groove. And if you said this life ain't good enough, I'd give my world to lift you up. I could change my life to better suit your mood, because you're so smooth. And it's just like the ocean under the moon. It's the same as the emotion that I get from you. You got the kind of loving that can be so smooth. Yeah, give me your heart, make it real, or else forget about it. But I'll tell you one thing: if you would leave, it'd be a crying shame. In every breath and every word, I hear your name calling me out. Without from the body, you hear my rhythm on your radio. You feel the turning of the world, so soft and slow, turning you round and round. And if you said this life ain't good enough, I'd give my world to lift you up. I could change my life to better suit your mood, because you're so smooth. And it's just like the ocean under the moon. It's the same as the emotion that I get from you. You got the kind of loving that can be so smooth. Yeah, give me your heart, make it real, or else forget about it. It's just like the ocean under the moon. It's the same as the emotion that I get from you.
Cities break it down on a camel's back. They just have to go 'cause they don't know where. So all you feel the streets is appealing to see. You won't get undercounted 'cause you're standing free. You got a new horizon, it's ephemeral style. A melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is the message beep. My dreams, they gotta kiss me 'cause I don't get sleep, no. Windmill, windmill for the land, I'm forever hand in hand. Take it all out on your stride, it is taking falling down. Love forever, love is free, let's turn forever, you and me. Windmill, windmill for the land, is everybody in?
Laughing gas, these hazmats, fast cats, lining them up like ass crack. Ladies, ponies at the track, it's my chocolate attack. Shit, I'm stepping in harder this year. Yeah, bear repping in harder this year. Watch me as I gravitate. Ha 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 ha. Yo, we gon' ghost town, this Motown with your sound. You in the blink, gon' bite the dust, can't fight with us. With your sound, you kill the ink. So don't stop, get it, until you chin it. Head and watch the way I navigate. Ha 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 ha.
Windmill, windmill for the land, I'm forever hand in hand. Take it all out on your stride, it is taking falling down. Love forever, love is free, let's turn forever, you and me. Windmill, windmill for the land, is everybody in?
Don't stop, get it, deep high, your captain's in it, steady, watch me navigate. Don't stop, get it, deep high, your captain's in it, steady, watch me navigate.
Well, that was a bad rip at the end. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap this up this evening. I want to say thanks to everybody that came out. And a reminder that if you are in the Warframe clan, you have 1 day left to get your submissions into the Fashion Frame contest. Again, that is sponsored by Zeffy and Dan, so be sure to thank them when you see it. Remember, the prizes for that are custom skins signed on as anything that costs flat. Please, just as a reminder, that Tenogen is not a part of that. And for the rest of you guys, I hope you have a fantastic evening. I'm going to take us out with 3 songs that are my personal favorites. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and for those of you on the West Coast, I don't know, y'all are wrong and crazy and a part of liberal town, and I can't apologize enough to you. But that's probably all you know at the same time, come to think of it. So anyway, you guys have a fantastic evening, and again, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here at about 10:30. We'll do a set of 3 to end it tonight. Y'all take care, and good hunting.
grazes the horizon with sea winds in his face. Tempest-tossed island, seasons all the same. Anchorage and painted and a ship without a name. Sea without a shore for the banished one unheard. He lightens the beacon light at the end of the world, showing the way, lighting hope in their hearts. The ones in their travels homeward from afar. This is for long forgotten, light at the end of the world. Horizon crying, the tears you left behind long ago. Trust is flying, making him daydream. The time before he became one all the world's to see. Princess in the tower, children in the fields. Life gave him it all, and not another universe. Oh, now his love's a memory, a ghost in the fog. He sets the sails for last time, saying farewell to the world. Anchor to the water, seabed far below. Grass still in his feet and a smile beneath his brow. This is for long forgotten, light at the end of the world. Horizon crying, the tears we left behind long ago.
I don't care if your world is ending today, because I wasn't invited to it anyway. You said I tasted famous, so I drew you a heart. But now I'm not an artist, I'm a fucking work of art. I got an F and a C, and I got a K too. And the only thing that's missing is a bitch like you. You want it perfect, yeah, got you perfect. Now I'm too perfect.
What's my name? Hold the S because I emanate. What's my name? What's my name? Hold the S because I emanate. What's my name? What's my name? Hold the S because I emanate. What's my name? What's my name?
Take the pain away, so you can throw me to the wall. Tomorrow I will come back, leader of the whole pack. Beat me black and blue. Every move will shape me, every scar will build my throne. The sticks and the stones that you used to throw have built me an empire, so don't even try to cry me a river, cause I forgive you. You are the reason I still fight, so you can throw